Hello YouTube, I hope everyone is doing well. This video today we'll be discussing Isis, Saturn, Christ consciousness, aliens, ancestors, and Sphinx. Now I know this is several different subjects on this video. I'll try to keep it short as possible, but keep in mind my ancestors, my spirit guides are guiding me and they're giving me plenty of downloads. So I'm trying to get the information out to you guys. I hope you enjoy it. Astrology is not just the problems we are trying to rise above. It is also the solutions to the problems. When Saturn was making you get real by shattering your illusions, he is also giving you the strength to actually get real. That power comes from Saturn. He is the power to make peace with the world and face our fears. So, he creates the fear that we must face in order to actualize the part of our nature. Today, when you get married before God. And the symbol of that God is a ring that is put on each other's fingers, the ring of Saturn. In the marriage phrases, one also begins to see what that has to do with Saturn. So when you get married with a ring, and the symbol of that God is the ring of Saturn. You're wearing God's ring, and the yarmulke was a round ring that you wear on your head for Saturn, your god. Even in the Middle Ages, in the temples, Catholic monks would shave their heads in a round circle, and the Hebrews, instead of doing that, would wear the yarmulke, but it all had to do with the round rings of Saturn, matrix of power. For God wanted them to know that the riches and glory of Christ are for you Gentiles too. And this is the secret. Christ lives in you. This gives you assurance of sharing his glory. The gift is inside you. You have an inauthentic self and an authentic self. There's somewhere else to go. It is a place where you will never be manipulated or duped. There is no true religion outside of you, not one. However, you have to keep knocking, exerting yourself to find the narrow path by awakening your highest self within. Christ consciousness, the single eye, the chief cornerstone, enlightenment. You become both a king and a priest in yourself. The law won't come from outside of you as written on stone tablets. The laws will be written on your heart. Jeremiah 31:33. Just as the sun rises at Easter and brings the barren earth to life, the Christ is an inner sun that needs rise within you to move you from two lower elements, earth and water, to the two higher or male elements, namely air and fire. The Bible talks about it, saying being caught up in the air and the world being destroyed by fire. We live in the figurative lake of fire, the one that's announced in the Bible as the fiery hell. These allegories and emblematic figures conceal the secret formula for spiritual, mental, moral, and physical regeneration, commonly known as the mystic chemistry of the soul, which is alchemy. These sublime truths were communicated to the initiates of the mystery schools, but were concealed from the profane. The latter, unable to understand the abstract philosophical texts, worshipped the concrete sculpture idols, which were emblematic of these secret truths. The wisdom and secrecy of Egypt are epitomized in the Sphinx, which has preserved its secrets from seekers of 100 generations. The mysteries of Hermeticism, the great spiritual truths hidden from the world by the ignorance of the world, and the keys of the secret doctrines of the ancient philosophers are all symbolized by the Virgin Isis. Veiled from head to toe, she reveals her wisdom only to the tried and initiated few who have earned the right to enter her sacred presence. Tear from the veil figure of nature's is shroud of absurdity and stand face to face with the divine reality. Isis, this Egyptian deity under many names, appears as a principle of natural fecundity among nearly all the religions of the ancient world. She was known as a goddess with 10,000 appellations and was metamorphosed by Christianity into the Virgin Mary. For Isis, although she gave birth to all living things, chief among them the sun, still remained a virgin according to legendary accounts. Thor, Hermes, the founder of Egyptian learning, the wise man of the ancient world, gave to the priests and philosophers of antiquity the secrets which have been preserved to this day in myth and legend. These allegories and emblematic figures conceal the secret formula for spiritual, mental, moral, and physical regeneration, commonly known as the mystic chemistry of the soul, alchemy. The history of our extraterrestrial home in XYLANTHIA was preserved in Egyptian mythologies by associating our home star Sirius with the great mother goddess Isis. Egypt was a province of Atlantis, which was originally located on the eastern shore of the Black Sea. After the Great Atlantis flood, the Egyptians migrated away from the Black Sea. They roamed for 1,000 years, establishing settlements as they traveled down the Fertile Crescent and across Levant. They finally settled in northern Africa in 8600 BC. The legend of Sirius, star of Isis, the great mother goddess, traveled with the Egyptians to their new homeland on the Nile. Fortunately, they inscribed the records of Atlantis in their temples. The Egyptians protected the secrets of Sirius for 1,000 years. The figure of Isis is sometimes used to represent the occult and magical arts such as necromancy, invocation, and sorcery. In one of the myths concerning her, Isis is said to have conjured the invisible god of Eternities Ra to tell her his secret and sacred name, which he did. His name is equivalent to the lost world of masonry. By means of this word, a magician can demand obedience from the invisible and superior deities. The priests of Isis became adept in the use of the unseen forces of nature. They understood hypnotism, mesmerism, and similar practices before a modern world dreamed of their existence. The statue of Isis was placed on a pedestal of dark stone ornamented with ram's head, her feet upon a number of venomous reptiles. This indicates that nature has power to free from acidity or saltness, all corrosives, and to overcome all impurities from terrestrial corruption of heating to bodies. The ram's head indicates that the most auspicious time for the generation of life is during the period when the sun passes through the sign of Aries. The serpents under her feet indicate that nature is inclined to preserve life and to heal disease by expelling impurities and corruption. From a golden ring on her left arm, a line descends to the end of which is suspended a deep box filled with flaming coals and incense. Isis, or nature personified, carries with her this sacred fire, religiously preserved and kept burning in a special temple by the Vessel Virgins. This fire is genuine, immortal flame of nature, etheric, essential, the author of life, the inconsumable oil, the balsam of life, so much praised by the wise and so often referred to in the scripture, is frequently symbolized as a fuel of this immortal flame. From the right arm of the figure also descends a thread to the end of which is fastened a pair of scales to denote the exactitude of nature in its weights and measures. Isis is often represented as a symbol of justice because nature is eternally consistent. Ancient texts all around the world speak of the union between gods and human females, such as the ancient Hindu text Mahabharata, where Queen Kinti mated with the sun god to give a son named Karna. In Greek mythology, Hercules and many others are progeny of godfathers and human mothers. The planet Xylanthia is located in the Sirius star system, which is comprised of three stars, Sirius A, B, and C. Sirius A and B orbit around Sirius C. Orbits around Sirius C, which is a black dwarf star. Xylanthia is a home planet of the extraterrestrials that visit Earth and founded Atlantis. Sirius A and B orbit around Sirius C, which is their center of gravity. The KAYAPO Indians in Brazil remember their extraterrestrial origins. Their legends reveal that their ancestors came from the sky from a land where there were no night. The KAYAPO tribes built circular cities resembling the circular layout of the ancient city of Atlantis. The Dogon tribe in West Africa have ancient records of extraterrestrial beings visiting Earth. Thousands of years ago, the Dogons knew that Sirius was not just one star. Their ancient records reveal that Sirius was a three-star complex. They referred to Sirius C as a woman planet. Our mother planet, Xyanthia, orbits around Sirius C. Zio and five other Xylanthian scientists came to Earth, which they called Blue Planet, on an adventurous and ominous mission to save the primitive Earth species from extinction. These androgynous aliens from another world were beckoned here by the power of love and sensual desire, which is the primary motivation factor of all existence. The primitive Earth beings appeared very beautiful to the Xyanthians. Thank you for rocking with me, family. There will be a part two. Always remember to echo kindness. I would like to give a shout out to my ancestors, to my subscribers, my supporters, and to God. Also, my archangels.